And we are back with Live from the Heartland. Every Saturday morning we come to you with important news and guests and neighborhood folks and everything in between. Folks who are just coming through town, who we want to catch on the radio, people who have a story to tell, as you just heard from Chris Drew, a man who's almost single-handedly, but I think it'd be helpful for him if he got a crew around him fighting for artists' free speech rights. An announcement I was going to make, I was asked to make, the Independent Illinois Voters Association, I'm just reading this correctly for the first time, is hosting a community meeting on TIF reform this coming Monday at 7 p.m. at the Edgewater Library. Their note is, if you're not tiffed off, you should be. Something about the economic crisis and TIF's quietly removing $900 million out of the general revenue funds. Meanwhile, city workers are being laid off, yada, yada, yada. TIF dollars being used to build charter and magnet schools as part of their desegregation/class plan. TIF reform. Jump on the TIF bandwagon and learn more. This is an announcement I was asked to share with you, because the other part is that when Harry and I finish, we'll tell you about something else on Monday night. So we're going to vie for you to get out and be in the community one way or another on Monday night. Harry!
Katie, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you.
It's cold out on the lakefront here over at Loyola and cold in Chicago, but everyone's a little bit warmer because we have a new president, Barack Obama. People are smiling a little bit better, even though the economy is not doing as well. But it's exciting to be here in the post-Bush era and on the dawn of having Barack as our new president. And I want to compliment you on packing your bags like millions of people across their country and just up and going to a battleground state. And you went to Ohio, and they needed you in Ohio, and you met people probably from around the country. My wife and my family and a bunch of our little daughter, Katy, went to Dubuque, Iowa with about 50 people from Edgewater and Rogers Park, and Joe Moore and Julie Hamos and Larry Suffernan had, caravans of people from Rogers Park. They were helping out in Iowa, and to me it was a symbol not of this was like people involved in politics, but as you probably found, what I was most amazed at was just everyday Americans that had converted their homes or got engaged and embraced Barack's message of change, and really took back their country by getting involved in this election. It was everyday people that got involved in the process, and it's just really encouraging. And also, it's we're all going to have to work together to get through the tough times ahead. So it's it's great to be here.
Harry, you were helpful in bringing Obama to the Armory a few times, as I recall, and over here to Loyola right after he was senator. And what I was most what you just described, that whole thing of I went canvassing to Indiana and Ohio and Iowa before I went for the long stint, and two times that I went with all three times that I left the city to canvass, I was with neophyte, total newbies to canvassing. Okay, friends of mine, good friends of mine, who had never canvassed, and I was so honored to be, sort of helping someone into the fray. You and I have been involved in politics a long, long time. We know how much other people, friends of ours, family, look down their nose at us for being involved, think it's nothing but a dirty game, and they give a lot of excuses that are hard to fight about how they don't want to dirty their hands.
You got to drag them kicking and screaming to knock on some doors.
And this phenomenon of Obama's run brought everybody out.
Young and old alike, people from different backgrounds, and just got them engaged and at a real level. And they were really vested in how it turned out. And the
other thing that I keep saying to anybody who'll listen is the phenomenon that people has not received a lot of press is the phenomenon of people leaving their state, like all of us, because, hey, we're the state that brought Obama to the world, so but the phenomenon all over the country of people leaving their states. I had a friend in California who went to Nevada. I had a friend in New York who went to Florida. There were people moving all over to work for this guy, to volunteer, by the way, for this guy. Nobody was paid. And when you got to this other state, like I did with 5 weeks to stay there, you were put with a family who within 24 hours of meeting you was handing you the front door key, knowing that they were not going to see you between the hours, in all waking hours, that you'd be coming in at 11, 12, 1 in the morning, leaving as soon as you could get it together in the morning. So it wasn't going to be a long and cozy relationship, but, I have a family. They live in Strongsville, Ohio. The mother and father are younger than me, but I call them, hey, Ma, hey, Dad, because they had a 6-year-old daughter, and I taught her how to jump a cartwheel on the day after election, something to remember me by. But, this phenomenon happened thousands of times over across the country.
Your story's not an unusual, it's not the exception, it was the rule.
Exactly.
Your point is well taken. It was not just people in Chicago or in Evanston uplifting and saying, I'm going for a month or I'm going for a weekend or leaving their family. But the fact that these people that were so welcoming to you when you got there. I mean, we were in Dubuque in the one of the nicer sections of Dubuque, and there were these 3 retired nuns, BVM nuns, who had converted their house to an Obama campaign office.
Yeah.
And had stickers and buttons and had a computer
Mundaline nuns.
printing walk sheets off.
BVMs.
And when you got done with a hard day of canvassing, they were there making homemade soup for you and giving you a pop or some coffee. And then we went to the next house, and it was a woman whose daughter was an Obama organizer in Colorado. And because of that experience, her whole family, from all the aunts and uncles, were all working precincts in Dubuque. So it was an amazing experience. And what I really think despite the good work that I think Barack's going to do in the White House, because I really think that he's going to bring in a team of people that it's going to be something unlike we've seen, different points of view. So I think he's going to do a great job as president, but I really believe that the politics that got him elected is going to continue on. And I really think that there's going to be a chance you're going to see more people get engaged. I got a phone call from a friend of mine in the community who went with us to Iowa and volunteered on election day. But he's like, I can't wait till the next election. Let me know how I can help. So I really think you're going to see a lot of people
Amazing.
Get engaged. And get
I
involved.
certainly hope so. I mean, I was thrilled as a longtime, college teacher of politics to see the young people, also from coast to coast, who were the sort of spinal column of this campaign everywhere. That because they can give up 6 months of their life after they've graduated from college, or some of them took a semester off, and they were all over the place in my campaign in Ohio, and I know they were totally inhabiting the office downtown. So I hope what you say is the case. I hope that people understand that the government is not some foreign big awful thing. It's ours. And if we want it to be something better than it is, it's up to us.